What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Booth. DJ Julz here. If you guys haven't seen, check out the reggaeton and dembow mix that DJ Adri and myself, we just did. Fire, flames. Yo, Adri, bienvenidos. Welcome to Behind the Booth. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because this is our second time doing this because the mics weren't recording, but we are lit.
It's okay. I forgot my answers anyway, so.
We outside. Cool. Take me back. You said, right now, for the people, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16?
16.
And you've been DJing since?
I was 7 or 8, around that time.
Wow,
yeah.
So 7 or 8. And then equipment-wise, do you remember what you started on?
Like I said, man, in the last one that we didn't record, it was a small DDJ, Pioneer.
Okay.
Pioneer.
Okay.
Love Pioneer. It was a small DDJ, and I don't remember which one it was. But it was like, it had like basics thing, man. It was like it was like a small SE.
Yeah.
It was like a small SE.
No, that's valid. And then, how did you just stumble upon it, or just? It's all good. Was it just in the crib, or?
No. So my dad's a DJ,
Okay.
so he kind of got me into all of that.
Okay.
So he just told me like, Adrian, like, you want to try? Cause he would always like be DJing and whatever, and I would always just be looking. So there was one day that he was like, hey, you want to try? Like, just press that button, and then press this button, and then I blended my first thing.
Wow.
So he was like, okay, I see. He saw a vision, supposedly.
Okay.
So and then after that, we just started. Yeah.
So he saw the vision, the talent in you that could be
that could be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. From doing that, and then just even seeing the progression, and then from there, when did you start taking it serious?
I started taking it serious when I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Okay.
That I was like, okay, because I had a Twitch channel and I used to go live on there every single day.
Really?
Yeah, every single day. But it wasn't really going anywhere. So, and at that time I was like 12. And then I know I stopped for like a few months, and then I was like, you know what? Like, if I want to get somewhere, maybe it's because my talent isn't there yet. So let me just keep on practicing until I'm gonna get it right. And then till people be like, damn, you know what? That was nice. Like, that was nice. So, practicing for a few years, and then until my dad, he had me like, he kept me hidden. And then like when he was like, all right, you know what? I think you're ready. Let's let you go out.
Wow.
Let's let you go out. And then we opened up my social media.
Wow.
Just last year in July, we opened up my social media, and yeah, it was a movie.
Wow. So a movie from opening up in July, and would you say, since your social media has been open, you've done a lot of gigs? Just
Oh my gosh, crazy.
really?
Yeah, I think I'm about to hit 1,600. So that's not bad.
In
For
one year?
Yeah, in 1 year. So
1,600 parties?
No, I meant like followers.
Oh, no,
I mean, like, followers, man.
No.
I'm dead.
I'm talking about like, since that time, you've done a good amount of parties.
No, yeah, I've done a good amount of parties, private parties, and clubs as well.
Wow.
So yeah.
Now, do you prefer doing private, or do you?
I prefer clubs. Respectfully, I prefer clubs.
Okay.
No hate to my dad, like he does private parties. Shout out to Palacios Entertainment.
Word.
But yeah, I prefer clubs.
Okay.
Like el ambiente, everybody's vibe. Like even if it's los borrachos, like dancing to like
Facts.
when I turn everything off, like that's still a vibe,
Word.
I just love like meeting new people and making connections as well. Meeting new people, meeting new friends that I've made on the way means a lot.
Now, I remember you said you're 16. How were you able to get into the nightlife market?
So I first got into the nightlife when it was a restaurant / like club at the night.
Okay.
They hit me up through literally Facebook, and they were like, hey, like, what's your price? What's this? What's that? And well, my dad was like, I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do because that's never happened to me. It was my first time.
Yeah.
I was getting hype. I was like, oh crap, like, they want me for the first time. And, it was my first thing. So then whatever, my dad was like, all right, tell him this much, tell him that we're gonna do this, tell him your age. And then that's where it kind of got buried because they were like iffy about it. And they were like, you know what, just bring your dad and like you should be good. Okay. And then from there on, after I did there, I did a place called Venga Pa Ca that's in my town.
Okay.
That I got into there because of one of my DJ friends as well. And big shout out to everybody, like all my DJ friends, all the DJs in Morris County.
Hey.
Shout out to all y'all.
Hey.
They're my #1 supporters,
I
literally.
love that.
Yeah, and they all of them have at least gotten me into one spot.
Wow.
So I'll give them definitely so much credit for my uprising as well.
So, and you've noticed that connections is how you can move around or move quicker.
Ooh, yeah, I realized that like
better than almost how good you are. You know?
And I was like, it made me realize that it doesn't matter really your talent, but it matters about the people that you surround yourself with.
Facts. 100%. 100%. You can be an okay DJ, but if you know the right people, you could play in big rooms.
Exactly.
You know?
And I was like, damn, you know? And also, well, what people tell me, I'm not like hyping myself up or whatever, but like, you know, everybody's like, Adriana, you know, your blends are crazy, you know, your mashups are like crazy, you know, and it gives them another reason why they would want me to sing. For example, shout out to my boy DJ Toretto, that, you know, I opened for him, I think, one time in 111. That was my first time in 111 with also Manny Flow. Shout out to them. You know, all of them, like I said, it's just all connections. And then once the owner sees it, they'll be like, hey, I like the way how that kid spin.
Right.
You know, and it's connections, man. It's really connections.
Wow. And you said having your number one supporters, how did that even translate to you being able to play like somewhere like a Barcode and things like that?
So, like, basically, my number one supporter, I always say it, is my dad.
Facts.
Because he's the one that he pushes me for everything. So does my mom.
Facts.
Hi, Mom. And, you know, she pushes me everything. So does my dad, you know. Not even just my whole family, practically. Right. Like, they all support me in what I do. So it's like, it's cool having that like right there. And then when it comes to your supporters, your fans and all that, you know, it was weird, man. It was weird. I remember my first time I ever met a fan, like I was in Walmart.
Word?
Yeah, I was in Walmart. I was literally in Walmart, and like there was a couple that kept looking at me, and I was like, yo, what the hell? I got scared because I was like, oh my God, they're gonna kidnap me or like what? Because they were looking at me weird. And then like they were like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but are you DJ Adri? And I was like, yeah, hi, nice to meet you. And then they asked for a photo, and I felt so weird. I felt so weird, dude. Wow. I was like, this can't be real. I was like, this literally can't be real. But
where did they recognize you from?
From Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, from Instagram. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, cool. And
you never know who's watching.
That's the thing, and that's what I realized too. You know, like I said, my number one supporter was my dad. He pushed me to Turn the Tables. Shout out to Pretty Lou, DJ Javi, Heavy Hitters, all of them. You know. And I joined as you guys know, I joined the show. They didn't make the second round because of technical difficulties, but it's okay. It's okay. We made a bunch of new cool connections, you know, and if it wasn't for the Turn the Tables practice tryout or whatever it was, like something like that, I wouldn't have met Eddie G. Because I met Eddie G from that seminar that he did. But if it wasn't for the practice, like, he wouldn't hear the way how I spin.
Facts.
And I did a bunch of genre wars in 5 minutes. And I guess he liked that. You know, I played classics. And, like, you know, I started off with salsa, bro.
Yeah.
Like, salsa el preso. So he was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't hear that. You don't hear that. And then when salsa to reggaeton, reggaeton to dembow, dembow to guaracha. And then, no, my bad, reggaeton to dembow to guaracha. So it was like, I tried to give him like a sneak peek of what I could do. Yeah. You know, it's like, because if you have the opportunity,
gotta go hard.
You gotta go hard, you know, go big or go home.
Facts.
So, you know, and then that same night, he literally told me, are you doing anything for New Year's? And then, so I was like, no way. Like, I was like, there's no way this is happening right now. And then, so that night of New Year's, I met Alex Sensation. Couldn't meet Pro Style though, because he left early, so. But then I met my brother DJ Swag as well. Shout out to New York in the building.
Easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's cool.
How did it feel like playing on the same stage as like a Pro Style or Alex Sensation?
I was freaking out, dude. And then the whole way there, oh my gosh. Like I was sweating. My palms were like, I was literally black. I was trying to hype myself up instead of like getting like nervous. But like, as soon as I got there, I don't know. It's like, todo se me fue. I got in my own world.
Facts.
And that's it. And then that's it. And then after that, I got called back for Girl Code. And then for just to open up another one, I think. And then,
That's a built-in relationship.
Yeah, built-in relationship. And now I know hella people from Barcode. And, you know, they're all so sweet.
Yeah.
Shout out to my favorite security guard that every single time she's there, she makes sure I'm okay.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's good. Now, when you're moving around these venues, since of the age and everything, do you have to have a guardian or a parent with you?
Yeah, I have to. It's not like, if anything, I bring my uncle that he's my security guard wherever I go. Okay. Yeah. That's good. My dad can't go.
That's good. That's good. So to make sure like there's no problems or anything. Like,
exactly.
Have you ever faced into problems or anything like when you're DJing nightlife?
There was this one time that it was in my first gig that it kind of made like it made my dad question a bit. Like he hasn't told me this personally, but you know when you see it in la cara de alguien? Yeah. Claro. So where it was like somebody just kept coming up and I was DJing and he kept coming up. And then, like, they had security guards there, but, like, we had to tell the guy to, like, leave.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, like, and also, plus I'm a female as well.
Facts.
So it's, like, it's a little difficult, but, hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Facts. Go in and go up. That's it. That's the way how we roll.
How's it being a female DJ in a male-dominated industry?
Oh, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Cause it's like, you know, sometimes I think that like, you know, guys support guys or whatever. But then I realize I'm like, my guys aren't like that, you know? At least I hope my guys aren't like that.
Yeah.
And I know my guys aren't like that. Like, come on now.
Which
like,
is great.
Yeah, those are my boys. So, you know, like I said, shout out to all the DJs in Dover that you guys have helped me out a ton, you know.
All right.
Shout out to, I know Toretto don't live in Dover, so shout out to Toretto.
Yeah.
Manny, all of you guys are family, definitely.
That's what's up. So even like you said, just having a community of people who want to see you win, like,
Exactly.
yo, you need a
That
track,
gives
I
you,
got
like-
you, or things
That
like
gives
that.
you more amp, you know?
Yeah.
And then turn the tables, I met DJ Carlito
Word.
from Mega.
Yeah.
I've DJ'd with Leo Nation. And and then I got invited to a party for La Melma that fue solo invitados.
I like,
So I was
La
like-
Melma's nice. I like, he's cool. I love his Dembo game is strong.
Oh,
Like,
it was literally Alex and Melma that like, if you guys see, like if some people here that watch my content, like I have this drop that's like, ay Adri, and then I have like the car horn. And I call that Melma and Alex's baby, okay? Hold on, but there's a reason to it.
Okay.
Because Alex Sensation has a drop that says I Alex. Like, you know what you're talking about, right?
Alex,
Yeah, that one. And then Melma has a classic Sube
Sube
Melma. So then I was like, hold on, let me put I Adri together, and then let's add a little car horn at the end.
I love
and
that.
then and I was like, period. Okay, and
Yo,
that's good. So it sounded good, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna keep that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so-
Yo, I love that. And so bringing it back to the age, because we keep going back to this, how has that helped you, like, even just knowing what to tap in, or you're tuned in, like knowing TikTok trends and things like that? Have you noticed that helps you when you're DJing, like say for a younger crowd, or just like knowing what to play?
It definitely gives you a big advantage when you know the old and new, because you can combine those two, and you bring everybody else together, and that gives you even bigger, more crowd. Because, like, you know, there's a bunch of people from my school that go somewhere, places that I'm DJing at, and you know, and I'll see them there, and then they'll be like, hey, can you play this track? And I'm like, I got you, dude, because this is my type of music too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's definitely like a big advantage since I know what's popping now, and the fact that I know, like I said, La Clásica and all that, and it's like, so it's a definitely big advantage.
Now, would you say, is it harder to DJ, like, say, like a more viejo party, or like a younger party, or?
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do struggle with like younger cats, because they're like harder to please sometimes, you know? So it's like, if you don't play their track like quickly, like, but also old people, not old people, but like the older generation is like that as well. But at the end of the day, what can you do, you know? You can't really do anything about it.
Do your best to make everyone happy.
Exactly.
Well, would you consider yourself, what style, like a Latin DJ, open format?
Open format.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so you like to play.
Like, I feel like that's one of the things that I've evolved in, because I used to say, I'm just a Latin DJ, I don't do anything else. And then, like, you know, 46 Lounge, like Hiraj's thing, you know, where we met, literally where we met.
Facts.
Hiraj said, Adri, I can get you into 46 Lounge, but are you gonna open format? Are you an open format? And I was like, you know, that's a cool place that people like go to. So I was like, that's where you have to put your bigger pants on. And you're like, you know what? All right, I'm changing myself to open format.
Facts.
Yeah, because I used to tell everybody, yeah, I'm a Latin DJ. Like, do I prefer Latin music? Yes. But can I do anything else? Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
that's what I said. Like,
And that's how you can play different kind of parties. What I've noticed is sometimes when I've seen people, when they focus on just one genre or one niche, then you can see them like take off. So like, it all depends. It's like just figuring out what you want to do, whatever makes you happy, you know. You know, so that's always good. What would you say is like the trajectory, like what you're looking to go to?
a lot of people ask me this question, and even my dad including, like, he asked me this question so many times. Like, where do you plan on taking this, like, to? You know, like, where do you want to take it to? And I'm like, I still don't know, really. Because, you know, you have the radio, but then you have DJs like WhatsApp, Carolina, Tiesto, like, DJ Livia, for example. You know, El Scratcher, El Nino. Like, you got all these crazy DJs doing their own brand, but then you got also crazier DJs like Alex Sensation, like Calito, like Melma, like all these Jumpy J.
Facts. Jumpy J is nice.
Jumpy J is nice. Like, you got all these DJs that they go ham on the radio station as well. And it's like, to be the first female in a radio station.
That'd be big.
Well, not in a radio station, because you got stuff.
Yeah.
But like, to be like in La X or La Mega, like representing los Latinos, you know?
That would be.
And it's like, man. If I could put an application,
Gotta write
I
that down.
I literally
gotta
would.
write that down on your journal, your
Exactly,
vision
bro.
board. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, just to be that.
Is there any clubs that you haven't played that you want to play?
Yes. We have Salsa con Fuego.
Okay.
Definitely. La Boom, Secret, what was it? Hidden Garden. And then I'm really trying to get into DPX and Mama Juana.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Word. You could definitely, and then as the age, when that barrier for that, but with time, it'll happen for sure. But those are some big clubs, and then soon you might be like,
sky's the limit, man.
Literally,
sky's the limit.
and then you might be like, oh shoot, I'm playing out of my market. I'm playing in Delaware, or I'm playing in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shoot, now people are flying me out. So it's very possible. So keep your foot on the gas with the consistency, the content too. So are you still putting out videos on YouTube?
Yeah, I just actually came out with the reggaeton mix, clásico.
Okay, we'll link that. We'll link that below. Yeah,
we'll link that in the below. Go check it out. Go like, go comment.
Hey, subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
And but I put once in a while. Like I have to start being consistent because I'm more consistent on Instagram and all that. But I'm gonna try to start coming out with like a lot of mixes on YouTube.
Do you do anything besides DJ? Like, I know you said you're in school. Do you play sports or anything?
Yeah, I do 3 sports. I do softball, basketball, and volleyball.
Wow.
But I might go into wrestling this year. So.
Wait. So you might do 4?
Yeah.
You might drop 1 or do 4?
Yeah, I drop 1 and do like 3. I don't know. What
drop 1, do 3.
Yeah. So I don't know yet.
Wow. So how do you find time to do all this balance of personal life?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't. I'm everywhere. My room's a mess right now. I'm horrible at balancing my time. I'm not gonna lie. But all I know is that every single time when it comes to a gig, that I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna give it my best.
That's good.
No matter what, like I said, even if my room's a mess, man.
Wow.
I'll be like, I'll worry about that later. This is my job. The same way how I have fun with it. Mm-hmm. I also realized that, hey, Adri, you're not just going there to have fun, you're also going there to work. Yes. And who's told me that too is my dad as well. Mm-hmm. He'll be like, okay, Adri, that, not gonna lie, those little mixes were a little bit off, mija. I know you're having fun, but come on.
Yeah.
Póngate pilas.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, because you only be so cute for so long.
Exactly.
I mean, people be like, what's up? So definitely, but you have a good mentor, you have a great mentor.
My dad.
Yeah, shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? Anything else you want to leave us with? Where they should catch you or your socials, so they can stay in tap?
Y'all can catch me DJ Adri, DJ Adri 08 on Instagram. Then that little link in the bio is my link tree, and right there you can catch me on all my stuff.
Word. And you live stream too, so?
Yes, I live stream every Wednesday through TikTok. So, like I said, go follow that TikTok as well. 7 p.m. La Show de la Muñequita, and yeah.
Ya tú sabes, y entonces you heard it here first. DJ Adri, DJ Julz. Don't forget to check out our Reggaeton and Dembow mix.
Crazy.
Our mics are actually on this time.
Right? Hold on, right? Okay, cool.
But you already know what it is. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. My G, un placer.
Thank you for having me. Cool.
Gang.